This is the too big to fail dress. The five
Very
largest
nice.
brands. Yeah, especially from the back, right?
Too big to fail dress? That's very funny.
Too big to fail. The
Well,
five
she's not
largest.
very big.
No, but look. It's the five largest banks, ATM, who got bailed out.
I see, yes. Well, they're all still living now, aren't they? Could you imagine running one of those banks? You would know what was happening. Chase, Citigroup, Wells Fargo, Citibank, yeah, right. Morgan
What would you do if you were too big to fail? What would you attempt?
I would try to fail.
But you can't.
You'd be surprised. Look at Morgan Stanley on her breast. They failed.
But they're not lit.
You know, this reminds me of the ATM machine.
I photograph ATM myself. That's what I did.
Yeah. You should have a good way to raise money for your artworks. Get people to contribute. Another form of striptease.
Marie-Antoinette.
Yes, because it was an age of excess.
Absolutely. And we're still in it. Right now, it's happening all over again. No?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I picked that shape.
Right.
Yeah.
I like your mic. Is there a mic underneath there? How are you? 1% owns 50. Yes, you're absolutely right.
It's about to become a worldwide statistic. It's true right now in the US, but 2016 is all over the world.
I didn't know that, really? I'm not surprised.
You turn around.
Yeah, right.
And in the back, most people are of color that
Right.
are in the 50s.
And what are you?
Oh yes, me. I'm the median revenue dress. I took the U.S. Census map, and there's 8 zones of revenue, and I walk in New York, and my dress changed color according to where I'm walking, the revenue of the household. So right now, it's about, in this neighborhood, it's about this, Lower East Side.
What's the Lower East Side? What's the richest?
Tribeca, and close to the Met. It's blue, and it's 200K more per household. It's available to the public online, a U.S. Census with WNYC.
What kind of commentary? What kind of conclusions do you draw from this?
I find that New York historically has been interesting because there were a big mix of population, and right now it's gentrifying, maybe a little bit too much, because I think it's good to be mixed.
Right.
I agree.
It's very particular to New York to be able to walk and cover those 8 zones, and that's what I've been doing.
Right. I agree. Well, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, so many other of the neighborhoods, the more money's being made, the more of them are going to turn the color of Tribeca and across from the Met, I think. And so, and the other colors that are diminished, that are under $20,000 income, are just going to be, are not going to vanish completely, but it's not going to be a good story for them.
They're definitely being pushed out. So we live on the way out Upper East Side, and we near East Harlem. The whole demographic there used to be heavily Puerto Rican. Puerto Ricans have been pushed out. The Dominicans have come in. They're being pushed out. It's all of East Harlem, and Harlem is completely changed. And they're pushing, all of the great sort of Hispanic societies and African American societies out and can't afford to live there. But anyway, it's a migration. So people that moved from Manhattan to Brooklyn now are moving back to Chinatown to East Harlem because they can't afford Brooklyn. So I work in the art world too, and a lot of my younger associates can't afford Brooklyn, so they're moving up into East Harlem. It's cheap.
What about the Bronx, my studio?
But it's always moving like that. It's like, but that's what New York's always done, it's sort of, and the East Village was really hot in the 80s. When I was working, for an art magazine, and then that all died with age, and then that moved, and now it's back again,
But the danger is maybe that people are moving to New Jersey and they're really moving out.
It is. It's sad.
As Tom Finkelpearl, the Commissioner for Cultural Affairs, says, artists can't afford to live in New York. And I don't mean just New York, Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx maybe, but they're moving away. They're moving away. They're moving to other cities, or they're moving to other areas where there's a density of artists and where it's affordable.
Yeah, but the other thing thing about New York is that New York, to me, is not part of the rest of the U.S. It's a world unto itself. People speak so many different languages. It's a real melting pot. If you go outside of New York, you go to the Midwest, it's a very different culture. This is so many languages. I mean, it's almost a country unto itself. So you lose that diversity, you lose the whole spirit of New York. Anyway,
that's our story. George, nice to meet you.
So Sydney is wearing your battery's off. It died. Okay. I'm going to touch. This is the average salary of an employee, and this is 1965. The ratio was 1 to 20 for the 350 largest companies in the US. In 2013, it's 296.
To the
Everything.
Wow.
I did attach 296 bottles, so I know. So, yeah, it's a big difference. So, but I can deconstruct the dress. So this is 20. The back up to here is 30. This is the 70s. 80s, you add 30 more. 90s, you add this. And this is after.
And again, this is the salaries you're saying. Is that from the CEO to, or no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's the average employee compared to the CEO.
Okay. And
Not the lowest paid.
right. And what about the women employees? Okay.
It's hard enough to have those stats because they're private. It's really difficult.
Good question, though, George. Good question. 2 points.
But the woman, we know it's about 70%.
Right.
So it would be longer.
Right. I know in the art world, I mean, the art world is primarily populated by, art museum world is populated by women, but they hold the fewest leadership positions, although that's improving. If you look across America at the big art museums, however you define that, in urban areas, more and more are being directed by women. So that's a good trend.
For the artists, it's 25% in the museum exhibited currently.
Right. Yeah, well, MoMA's improving that bit by bit.
George is a former museum director, so he's got the stats.
Well, the stats change all the time.
Yeah.
They need to improve, for sure. And they are. It's just a matter of making it happen, talking about it, taking action, and sometimes being a little militant about it,